How's it going, everyone? Matt Leighton, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about why you should never use dual representation when you're purchasing a home. I'm here in Woodstock Park in North Arlington. It's located sandwiched between Glebe and that weird part of Lee Highway where it actually turns into Old Dominion for some reason. Okay, so dual representation. First of all, what is it? Well, it's when one agent represents both sides of the transaction. Most commonly, it occurs when the listing agent represents the seller, and then when a buyer who's not represented walks into the open house and wants to write a contract, or that listing agent also is working with buyers and that listing agent has a listing that maybe one of the agent's buyers also wants to write an offer on. Essentially, it's just one agent for both sides of the transaction. Why is that a bad thing? Well, an agent is supposed to have fiduciary responsibility to their client, whether it's the seller or the purchaser. How can they represent both of the best interests of both parties? They can't. So essentially what happens is they're stripped of some of their roles as an agent that they're supposed to perform. In a dual representation scenario, an agent is not allowed to share certain bits of information with both parties. So for the example of the listing agent, if they know that that seller has to sell immediately because they're going through a divorce and they're low on funds, they can't share that information with the buyer. Whereas that buyer, if they were working with their own agent and that buyer's agent made a phone call and could tell from the listing agent some desperation or found out another way that they had to sell, well, that's leverage right there that buyer has with their buyer agent that they would have been left in the dark with had they gone with the listing agent. I think what you need to ask yourself is, how can an agent treat both parties in the transaction fairly? The answer is they can't. Or if they do, they just end up being a paper pusher and they're adding literally no value to the leverage that you could supposedly or allegedly have if you had your own individual agent. Now, you know, some of you might say, well, if I just use one agent, I can save some commission. The agent will cut that commission. You know, listing agents, they split their commission with the buyer agent. And if there's no buyer agent, that listing agent might be more inclined to cut their commission a little bit. Here in Virginia, it's usually around 6%. But I don't think that's usually the case, because, you know, what if they cut it 1%, but if you had your own buyer's agent, that agent might be able to negotiate a better deal than that listing agent cutting it 1%. So I don't think you can save money, and I don't think you're gonna have an agent that's representing your best interests. So I think you're extremely losing out in a dual representation scenario. Maybe go dual agency, where two different agents from the same company are representing both sides, but you never really want to be in a situation where one agent is controlling the best interests of both parties. The long and the short of it is, you can have an agent that represents your own side without any negative consequences. So to wrap it up, dual representation, one agent, both sides of the transaction. Can they treat both sides fairly without sharing details? I don't think so. I'm not buying it, and I'm not buying the argument where you can save money by using just one agent. Go out, do your homework, have someone represent your side of the transaction, because when things start to go sideways, you want someone in that corner with you, and you want a buyer's agent. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, create a productive day. Take care.